Hey guys, thank you for coming to my channel. In this video, you'll be learning about the difference between eat, ate, and eaten. So we're going to start with eat. Eat is used in the present tense. Eat is used when talking about something that is happening right now or something that happens on the regular. And there will be examples in the next slide. Now let's use the word eat in sentences. So our first example says, I eat eggs every morning. As you can see, the use of eat in this sentence indicates a reoccurring thing. So this happens every morning. I eat eggs every morning. Example 2 says I eat dinner at 7 p.m. every night. This also indicates a reoccurring thing. I eat dinner every night at 7 p.m. Example 3 says I don't eat candy before bed. This indicates that I don't eat candy at all before bed, so this is also a reoccurring theme. Next we have ate. Ate is used in simple past tense, meaning the action was completed in the past. Ate is an irregular verb. For regular verbs, we usually add an ed at the end to turn them past tense, like walked, talked, and so on. And there will be more info in the next slide. Irregular verbs have special past tense forms like run turns to ran, see turns to saw, and eat turns to ate. Past tense verbs can be used to form sentences on their own. They don't need a helping verb, and I'll discuss that more later on in the video. Now let's use ate in sentences. Our first example says I ate cereal for breakfast. As you can see, this is simple past tense because it's just saying that I ate cereal for breakfast. I did that action and it's complete. Our second example says I ate lunch at noon. As you can see, I ate lunch at noon and that action is over with. Example 3 says I ate my food in my car. As you can see, this action is done and over with. The food was eaten, and so there's nothing more to talk about. Next we have eaten. Eaten is the past participle version of the word. Past participles are used to form certain tenses like past perfect, present perfect, and future perfect, and I'll be discussing those later on in the video. Eaten can't stand alone and needs an auxiliary verb like have, has, had, or will have when being used or when creating tenses. Wore turns to worn, saw turns to seen, and tore turns to torn. These are irregular verbs that have special forms as past participles. Now let's discuss tenses and how they relate to past participles. The tenses we'll be discussing are past perfect, present perfect, and future perfect. So what is past perfect? Past perfect refers to a past action that happened before another past action. Use had plus the past participle of the verb. Our first example says I had eaten cake 10 times before today. As you can see, we used had and we use eaten, which is the past participle. And as you can see, one past action happened before the other past action. I had eaten cake, which is one past action, and then before today is another past action. Example 2 says he had eaten Chinese food as a child. As you can see, we used had, and then we added the past participle, which is eaten. And you also can see that he had eaten is one past action, and then as a child is another past action, well, more like a past event. Next, we have present perfect, which means the action took place at an unspecified time in the past, but has a connection with the present, or the action continues into the present. Use have or has plus the past participle of the verb. Examples of present perfect. Example 1 says we have been friends since we were kids. We have been friends is a past action, and because we've been friends since we were kids, it's a past action that continues into the present. The same thing applies for example 2, which says she has lived there for years, which means she has lived there since the past, and it's continued into the present because she still lives there. Next, we have future perfect, which means a future activity that will be completed between now and another time. To form future perfect tense, use will have plus the past participle of the verb, and there will be examples in the next slide. So for examples of future perfect, example 1 says, I will have eaten 3 apples by the end of the day. So there's 2 future events in this sentence. I will have eaten is one, and by the end of the day is the other. And as you can see, we combined will have with the past participle eaten. Example 2 says, by the end of the week, she will have eaten at 5 different restaurants. There's 2 future events in the sentence, by the end of the week, and she will have eaten. Lastly, example 3 says she will have eaten 3 meals by the end of the day. She will have eaten is one future event, and by the end of the day is another future event. And as you can see, we combined will have with the past participle eaten to form the future perfect tense. Eaten is also used when writing in passive voice. When writing in passive voice, the subject receives the action of the verb, also known as an object. The object receives the action. And there will be more info in the next slide. Passive voice is used when a person wants to place emphasis on the action or the recipient of the action. With sentences written in passive voice, there will always be a form of the verb to be in the main verb's past participle. For example, hug would turn to hugged. Examples of eaten being used in passive voice. So the active voice version says, I ate candy today. And the passive voice version says the candy was eaten. As you can see, we added the to be verb was and changed the main verb ate to its past participle form eaten. Also, I have a whole video on active voice versus passive voice, so be sure to check out that video if you want a more detailed explanation of passive voice and active voice. For regular verbs, the past tense version is the same as the past participle version, like walked, talked, played, jumped, and so on. Our first example says, in simple past, I walked to the store. If we write this sentence in present perfect, it says, I have walked to the store before. As you can see, walked stays the same in the past tense as it does in the past participle. So in simple past, it says, I walked to the store. And in present perfect, it says, I have walked to the store before. So walked in the past tense is the same as walked as a past participle. Next, we have our second example. In simple past, it says, I talked to my friend. And in present perfect, it says, I have talked to my friend multiple times. As you can see, talk stays the same in simple past as it does in present perfect. For regular verbs, the past tense version is different than the past participle version. So for example 1, in the simple past, it says, I ate vanilla cake for dessert. And in present perfect, it says, I have eaten vanilla cake. As you can see, the verb goes from ate to eaten. In other words, the past tense version is ate, and the past participle version is eaten. As you can see, the word changes its form. Next, we have example 2. In the simple past, it says, I wore those clothes yesterday. And in present perfect, it says, I have worn those clothes before. As you can see, the verb went from wore in the simple past to worn as a past participle. Next, we have example 3. In the simple past, it says, I tore my ACL playing basketball. And in the past perfect, it says, I had torn my ACL when I was playing college basketball. As you can see, the verb went from tore in the simple past to torn as a past participle. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video informative. If you did find this video informative, please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, or all of the above, and I'll see you next time.